Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Bridget Bjorlo. A Seymour man is behind bars tonight after police say he's connected to 2 separate cases of sexually assaulting children within the last 10 years.
The most recent incident, police say, happened in Waterbury near Fulton Park last week. And that's where we find Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc with the details. Julia.
45-year-old Michael DeWitt is now in the custody of New Haven police. We'll get to that part of this case in just a moment. But first, Waterbury police say DeWitt was allegedly hanging around near Fulton Park last week when he lured a little girl into his truck.
We had good memories of the park.
Many Waterbury neighbors, like Janeth Merchan, grew up playing in and around Fulton Park, something police say a little girl was doing last week when a heinous act occurred.
It's unfortunate that's happening this close, and there's a lot of kids in this neighborhood, as you can tell.
Waterbury police say last Wednesday at 7 p.m., officers were called to Cook Street near the park for a report of a kidnapping and sexual assault involving a minor. When officers got here, they found the young girl surrounded by neighbors.
They did call police immediately to report this incident and kept the girl safe until police arrival.
Chief Fernando Spagnolo says earlier that night, the girl, who was under the age of 13, was with a group of people at the park. That's when they say she was lured into this pickup truck by a man now identified as 45-year-old Michael DeWitt. Police say DeWitt sexually assaulted the girl, who later escaped just outside the park.
Through the course of the investigation, we learned that the New Haven Police Department also had an interest in DeWitt. There was a past sexual assault warrant.
Investigators learned there was a recent arrest warrant out for DeWitt involving another alleged assault of a minor dating back to 10 years ago. 2 days after this latest incident, police found DeWitt.
Eventually, DeWitt and his vehicle were located in West Haven. He was taken into custody, and he's currently in custody, being arraigned today on those charges from New Haven.
Now, as officers thank the community for stepping in, they're asking parents to have a talk, especially with their young children.
It's really important to talk about strangers and the risks that they may pose, and making sure that children understand that unless they really know a person, they should certainly not get in a vehicle or go into a house or go into any type of location with them.
Now, DeWitt is expected to appear in a Waterbury courtroom on Wednesday, where he'll face 7 charges. In the meantime, officers say if there's anyone else out there who believes they may have been a victim of DeWitt's, to please contact your local police department. We are in Waterbury. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Julia, thank you. State police are looking to identify an arson suspect. Yesterday, police found several construction vehicles burned and vandalized. This is on I-84 near exit 39A in Farmington yesterday. Police believe the vehicles were damaged over the weekend, and the damage is estimated to be worth nearly $1 million. Anyone with any information on what happened should call state police.
Turning now to a check on our forecast. We've been very spoiled with some summer-like weather. Today was much different, Brent.
Yeah, meteorologist Sam Samperi is here now with a look at the forecast, and it's going to warm up, although it's not a direct thing, right, Sam?
That's right. It's a gradual trend. First, we have to get through a widespread freeze possible on Thursday morning, not tomorrow morning, Thursday morning. We're getting ahead here because there is already freeze watches posted. Let's talk about that. These freeze watches are posted for the southern 4 counties and inland areas. And this is freeze watch now, and from midnight until Thursday at 9 a.m. and also for Litchfield County. Also, Litchfield County, for some reason, the Weather Service decided to repost frost advisory again tonight. We've had some frost reported there over the last couple of weeks here and there. Now, the winds are picking up a little bit. We have a secondary front rolling on by. You can see wind gusts of 15 to 25 miles per hour, and a little light sprinkle, a little light shower rolling on by across northern Connecticut. Just a reinforcing shot of that cool air with those popcorn type light showers, even some snow showers up to the northern New England and eastern Canada, and that front will make its way in our direction. So temperatures are dropping back into the upper 30s and lower 40s by tomorrow morning, with some mid 30s in some of those colder towns after an early shower. And for tomorrow, Well, a mix of sun and clouds, a blustery and cool, high temperatures holding in the mid-50s. Coming up, I will detail the rest of the week, and I have great news about the upcoming weekend, guys.
All right, looking forward to that. Sam, thank you. People living around the Edgewood Park area in New Haven have some answers tonight. 1 year after a jogger was assaulted by a man police say had a gun. Police just announced they made an arrest. The suspect is also facing charges in a sexual assault case from years ago and is due in court today. Fox 61's Angela Bavaro is in New Haven with the very latest.
Police have arrested 25-year-old Chris Leonel Cruzado of New Haven. That case that you just talked about with the jogger, that happened last October in this area. This is by Edgewood and Yale Avenues. You look around here, we have a park, we have a school, a playground up the road, lots of houses, people out walking their dogs. It's a very residential area.
I was very concerned, and I stopped walking down the street right here.
In that case from last year, police say they got a report early in the morning about a 38-year-old woman who was jogging when Cruzado approached her and showed a gun. Police say that man tried to force her into a nearby wooded area and hit her in the face. She was able to escape. Police say the investigation into that case also implicated Cruzado in a sexual assault cold case from December of 2018. Now, in that case, a man armed with a knife assaulted a woman in the area of Chapel Street and Yale Avenue. Neighbors, especially parents, say it is a relief knowing police made an arrest.
Because there's little kids walking around and just people jogging and everything, so everybody's supposed to be safe. Everybody's supposed to be like, you know, like family oriented.
Cruzado is facing a list of charges between both these cases. Reporting in New Haven, I'm Angelo Bavaro, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Angelo, thank you. A shooting is under investigation in the capital city tonight. Police say a woman in her 50s was shot on Laurel Street just before 2 a.m. She was taken to a hospital and is expected to be okay. There's no word on any arrests yet.
And police in Sanford say a man was shot and killed at a Super 8 hotel. They found the body of 59-year-old Angel Samanigo yesterday at around 10:40 in the morning. It's still not clear who shot him or why they did it. Police are asking anyone with relevant information to come forward with that soon.
Well, the U.S. Department of Agriculture is launching an internal investigation into the handling of the Boar's Head plant in Virginia after a deadly listeria outbreak.
Senator Richard Blumenthal sent a letter to the USDA Inspector General calling for that investigation.
Fox 61's Lindsay Kane is outside the Capitol now with details.
The USDA Inspector General is now launching an investigation into the handling of numerous violations at the Boar's Head plant in Virginia. The deli meats have been linked to a listeria outbreak that killed 10 people and hospitalized nearly 60 people.
Food safety is a growing concern, and rightly, among Americans.
In a letter to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Senator Richard Blumenthal pushed for an investigation into how the agency handled previous complaints against the Boar's Head, Virginia plant. That call for transparency has been answered by the USDA Inspector General, now launching a formal investigation into the past violations to see if they were handled properly.
Year after year, the United States Department of Agriculture found serious violations at that plant and did virtually nothing.
10 people were killed and dozens were hospitalized after a listeria outbreak linked to the Boar's Head deli meats a few months ago. Violations including mold and insects were uncovered at the plant dating back to 2022. Many lawmakers believe the outbreak would have been preventable had there been more accountability with the health and safety violations. Now Blumenthal wants the USDA to revisit their policies to ensure food safety moving forward.
It's supposed to safeguard America's food supply, and yet it found an imminent threat to public safety as early as 2022 and took virtually no action.
Blumenthal and other lawmakers also sent a letter pushing for criminal charges against Boar's Head. Now that Virginia plant has since been shut down following the outbreak. In Hartford, Lindsay Kane, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.